Right, hello and welcome back. So, probably a day or two for you, moments for me. We're going in. Let's hope it finds a couple more players before we get in there.
Using the archive and complex dish. If you're thinking this isn't standard procedure, you'd be right. Don't ask me why, because I don't know. It'll be hard fighting all the way. But I know you're all too stubborn to die.
Right. Us two and two bots. Ooh, we'll have a new environment to look at while we're here. Ooh.
Oh, it could be wet. It can always be wet.
This is a death zone!
Make for the nearest Skylink bridge. You can proceed to archive and from there.
Try to keep up. No room for snivellers.
Right. Oh, enemies are finally here. Yeah, I'm gonna say we're definitely something skittering around in back. Oh, that was a bit of lag. Okay, what have we got? Hey, can you get up? That's gonna make things difficult. Oh, I think our psycho exploded them. Hey, and we've got rid of the bots. Lovely. Oh, he sounds like he's having way too much fun. Definitely finding that against armoured targets, the grenade punch is the best punch. Just put the knife away and get the grenade punch out. It's the only thing that seems to do anything to them. Has Other Ogren already used all his grenades? I believe he has. I do like little indicators as well now next to people. You know, so you can prioritise ammo and things better. Other games should definitely try to do that a bit more. Because it's much harder to work together when it's not telling you all the information. And all that does is just give people on comms who are all in pre-made parties an advantage.
Trust is our most valuable currency. I hope I've earned yours.
I mean, a number of games that you play where you're like, God, why? If they let you join randomers, why don't they give pre-made parties some kind of disadvantage? Like, a good example of this, actually, surprisingly, Hunt Showdown does this. If you're in a random party, it slightly lowers your matchmaking rank. Not by a lot, but you'll probably get a slightly easier time of it, given that groups of friends are usually all on comms. Thing is, then they're going to do the dumb thing of making it so that all voice chat in the game is public and not on a team what's it, not in a party channel or something, and an icon appears above your head through walls when you use it.
Indomitus crusade. Don't know what that
Someone needs that more than me.
What about the Primaris Space Marines?
Is he?
Like a whole fucking army of ghoulimans.
Red shotgunner.
Right. Anyway, yeah. But I do wish more games did take an approach like that way, because one of the big things I would say would be, like, I mean, it doesn't always have a massive impact. It's not that important, but on certain games it is. A game I would say it definitely hurts is on Dead by Daylight. A group of people on that absolutely decimate it compared to a group of randomers. Like night and day difference when you're against an organised group versus 4 randomers. But it is what it is. Again, more games should probably take. I think more games need to take an approach like that, where they either make it so that randomers can work as well as a organised group, because the game provides you with the information, the things you need to do that, or they need to debuff. Just swing. If they get near you, they're gonna kill you. I've got 1 hit left in me. More grenades go in. Ooh. Yeah, it's getting rough now, isn't it?
Need a friggin' hand.
Great punch.
Dead.
Everyone should have an ogre watching his back. Sighted in! Engaging!
Oh, I don't know why it started doing the crouch has gone off from being a toggle.
It'll be hard fighting.
Not that I use it much, but
Stands with us.
Medicare station.
options, input, hold to crouch, on. I think it defaults back whenever you use. Oh God, is that a? That's a. No, it wasn't a. I thought it were a plague ogre for a minute. It's not. It's only slightly less worse. Right, we'll go.
Get to the fragging stairs.
Still looks excellent though. This, honestly, if as much as the game is definitely missing content, and it does have a paid shop, thankfully, from a bit of a community backlash, they've got rid of the whole timed things on the shop and they've just turned it into a catalogue. Thank fuck for that. But given the game's price, because I believe this is, I think it's like 35, 40 quid or something, it's not full price for the game, it's not a full price release. Even though you look at it and it's like, yeah, this is like beyond AAA quality in terms of graphics. Like, this is the current best looking game out there, I think, at the moment. Though they've currently got ray tracing disabled on AMD cards due to it having some performance issues. So if you've got an AMD card, it's disabled and it's not even there on the options anymore. I don't know if the same's satisfying video if they've just disabled it across the board, but it will definitely announce that they were disabling it for AMD and it's just not on the options menu anymore. So if you look at the earlier videos I did, the graphics are actually better. Let's see if we can get in that bit at the back here. While I've got a chance. Grenade punch! Grenade punch! In his gob! Ah! No! Get him again! Ah! Don't worry. I'm pretty big. I can lose a limb or two. Thank you. But yeah, it's because it's not just the graphics. I mean, it's just you look at the environment art. It's like holy crap. Hey, get back here, you gits. You and all. You're out. You're off. Bop. Reload. Ah.
I believe this is the entrance we seek.
Uh-oh. That's a lot more than I was expecting there. Comes down the corner into a firing squad. Like, oh god, no, why? Gonna start needing that Medicare station at this rate, aren't I?
Do me a favour. Keep your heads in the next firefight.
Whatever you say, boss. Get going.
Just realising all the other Ogrins called boss. I think most people playing Ogrins are just role playing. Like I've seen, I think what's there been? There's been like a, I think the last episode there were a Harold, and I think I've seen like a Grog and a Grug. This one's called Boss. It's hard not to laugh. It reminds me when I used to be on Eternal Crusade, and everyone on the Orc side was taking the mick. Like they would deliberately like throw games because they would all just decide to all charge at once, and it was brilliant. Utterly ineffective, but brilliant. You know, someone would just yell, everyone go with rocket pack in the chat, and everyone would just, the next thing you know there's like 15 rocket, I forget what they call them now. It's not literally like rocket orcs, is it? I think, no, I forget what they're called, the ones with the rocket backpacks. It's been a while. It's been a long while since I played like Dawn of War, or God forbid even miniature games, like, and I didn't collect orcs. I think I've got some orcs to build because I decided I wanted to collect orcs. So I've got like an unpainted like battle force thing with like 1,000 points of orcs or something. They're just waiting around to be built and painted in a cupboard somewhere. But yeah, it's not like I've memorised all the names of them. But ooh,
Process failure. Reapply. This time pay more attention.
yeah, myself, if I remember, yeah, my main army is Chaos, if you can believe it. Mostly because I got a big box of chaos in a car boot sale once. Gave me like 2 of those foam case things you get from Games Workshop. So since I'd got a load at a deal, I think they're like 100 quid for a lot, which for an army, it's all like pre-painted, isn't bad. You know, I had like a Land Raider, a Rhino, a set of Terminators.
Come on, someone get it moving. Come on, big man.
It's got like
Kill that ragged bugger.
I think it had like a metal Khan the Betrayer model, but his arms had been broken off. So I eventually replaced them. I started getting like a couple of guardsmen at one point, and a few space marines as well, just so I had something for people to play against me with if I were ever playing it. Oh god, there's 2 people down here. Hang on, let's have a look. Let's get up here. Bloody hell. How do I... Oh god, he's dead. Don't die next to the Medicare station. Use it. Oh god. One of us has to stay up in case. We're nearly through. But yeah, so I eventually fixed him back together because I needed like some arms and that. So I used like, because if you've seen like the metal Khan the Betray model, it's like, so you can't really fix it with Space Marine parts. His arms are meant to be like big muscular ones where he's not got power armor on. I eventually replaced them with Catachan, you know, Catachan devil arms from an Imperial army I was putting together. Sort of super glued on. My crouch still isn't on toggle. Why? Input. Hold crouch on. It's not working at all. It's not a big deal, but it's annoying. Right. Options. Input. On. Off. On. Go. No, it's not working.
Don't see problem.
Nope, doesn't work at all.
Rest over. It's time to get onto the roof.
eliminating primary target.
Right. Ooh. Oh, they just went down, didn't they? This is what the Ogres are good at though, just massive crowd control. Honestly, most of the classes in this seem redundant, apart from like the Ogre and the Psyker. Like the Psyker can do that. You know, hey look, a big armoured guy that will absolutely beat the snot out of us. They just explode the head. Whereas then you get Ogrins and it's like, oh, a massive group of people. They just swish the knife across and it beheads like 6 guys. So yeah. What other classes do you need? What's the Zealot good for? Well, they're kinda like crowd clear, but they don't have as much health as the Ogrim. But when they're about to die, they don't. Like, the only thing I think that you go for the Zealot for is because they can unlock the Thunder Hammer and a Flamethrower. That's the only reason you would play as them. But then there's the Sharpshooter who's like, okay, I mean, they're not bad. Ooh, rare resources. Not bad, but they're not special, you know. I'll just mark that for everyone. So hey guys, you're low on health. You should use this before we all die. You see all that shooting from sharpshooting, it barely even clears them. He's probably used most of his ammo. And I just flick my knife around a little bit, and they're all dead. But I guess, you know, each to their own with classes and that. But I think they probably need some kind of buff, the Sharpshooter and Zealot. Maybe something else going for more than that. Or maybe I'm just missing something. I don't know, maybe when they get high level and they've got their Thunder Hammer and their Flamethrower, and maybe there's like a bunch of skills they get that make them absolute gods, who knows.
Shut off that Skyfire relay if you want extraction.
Don't know what that does, but I've pushed it.
Ammo, and it's all mine.
I could use some actually.
Keep going.
Here we go.
Only way now.
Grab a 315 bullet!
You need to realign the dish. Your data interrogators can do the hard part.
Right, we're on full ammo. Full grenades. Here we go. Load that up, lovely. Are we starting? Yes, sir.
Data interrogation rate acceptable.
Medicare station.
Hext probably wants to use that. You know, now. Rather than when they're dead.
Sir, need meds, sir.
Blow up the sniper with a grenade, as you do. Right. One, two, three. Ah, you. 1,
refuses to work.
2,
Commence.
3, 4. Got it. Go.
I can only imagine you attempted random inputs until it worked. But it is now working.
So is Hex actually going to use it? Nope, they didn't use the Medicare station. I mean, I pinged it. It's right in the middle. It's fairly obvious. Pop. And now Harrow's dying as well. I'll just ping that again in case. Okay, you're in front of it. You can see the Medicare station, Harrow. It's just there. We're on the final part. Please use the Medicare station. If you value your existence, for the love of God, you're on a sliver of health. Please use that. They've died like 5 feet from it, haven't they? Well, maybe a bit more than that. Maybe more like 20 feet. But yeah, they've...
I am obliged.
Please use the Medicare station. I will ping it again. Use the fucking Medicare station. Jesus Christ. I get that we're all like, but if I use it later, I can, like, you know... Because it is, isn't it? It heals, it clears all the penalties to your max health. Yes, true. But also, we're on the final bit. We don't exactly have to be stingy with it. You know, we just want to not all go down at once here. They're down again. Right, they've got things sorted there. Let's get these, then we've got a 4th up. Please rescue me.
Sorry, let you down, sir.
Right. We need to get that other thing fixed and all. Is holding him off. Get this done. 1, 2. Too quick, that one. Gotcha. Now let's go and get these.
Stand and fight like a soldier, Sparky.
I won't forget this brute.
Get him. Literally bifurcated one then. It's a good job that I've got extra wounds on this character. Yeah, I can take a hit or two. Oh, is it on Fritz again?
Sci-fi exfiltration faltering. Connection lost. Compensate.
Right, here we go. Got it. Got it, got it. Nice.
Hordes stable. Connection established.
None of them have used that last charge on the Medicare station, even though any one of them could do it, and they'd be right to. They're all on slivers of health.
I'm bleeding out.
Because in the future we use lasers to send radio transmissions. Yes. That's how we do.
Worthy of a hot shot enforcer.
Charge! And we've done it. The game is now technically beaten. I'm actually surprised we did that. Wasn't one of them like level 7 and one more 3 then? Christ. Well, it's certainly been interesting as Darktide, but yeah, it is now technically beaten. So, I will say, I think, because it's been getting a bit of flack over the past few weeks about, you know, it's only half finished, how dare they release a game in this state, and, you know, it's like, well, honestly, it's not like a full price game. I mean, to say it's like, honestly, they're not like a AAA mega studio, a fat shark. Like, this is, I think it's like, it's technically an indie game, technically. Oh, we are being summoned.
What do you want? I didn't call for crew support. Unless you know how to read, read, and talk civil. You know, I've seen so many of you come and go, I can hardly keep track. Let me give you a tip. You want to make your mark here? Prove yourself. Work hard. Demonstrate how essential you are to the big man. That's how you win trust. Now get lost. Come back when you've survived a few more missions. And if I know your name by then, you'll know you are doing something right.
Well, that's all we get for reaching level 18. Like, wow, that is, yeah. I mean, that is a point into, like, things I will say, like, my experience so far, because, you know, I mean, episode's only 30 minutes, so we can, since we're finished now, for at least for the moment, we'll be done. Can probably talk a bit about the game, what I think, how I think it is, and that. So far, it's like as far as story goes. I mean, I know story is not meant to be the main point of this, but Jesus Christ, it's like that is, you know, I've just gone and played the game for hours on end and got that cutscene. It's absolutely a slap in the face in terms of story. Like, the game is just bad in terms of story. It really is. I'm tempted to just buy that, just so I've got a better gun. It is just a straight upgrade. Yes.
Sold.
Not bad. What's the difference with this club then? Weak spot damage, target receives stack of brittleness on hit but lasts for 5 seconds. I don't know what brittleness does. I imagine it's something to do with lowering armor ratings or something, but it doesn't tell you. And that's another thing. Like, there's a lot of things you can find at fault with this game. I mean, you can go watch a review from someone if you want, but just my take on things, like the stats and effects and things from weapons need to be conveyed to the player a lot better. Like, if I'm looking at that, it's like, well, what is brittleness? Like, you know, I can do that for a load of these weapons. Like, let's see, I mean, it increases your cleave by 100%. My cleave is at 41%. Does that mean my cleave will be at 82% if I hit at least 3 enemies? Or does it mean I'd hit 3 enemies and it goes to 141%? Also, while we're at it, what is cleave? Like, I would guess that it's the amount of damage you do to targets other than the main one you hit or something. I have no clue, really. I don't know. You know, it's just like, what is this attribute? I don't know. You know? It's a bit dumb. Like, I should look at these and be like, oh yes, that's, you know, I know what that is. Oh, of course. You know? And no. It's like, honestly, oh, I get a insignia now. I don't know what that is or what it does, but I've got it now. Oh, there's a little purity seal next to my avatar at bottom left. Is that all it does? It's like, yeah, they just don't explain things, and the story's threadbare. Gameplay wise, it's pretty solid, though I would argue that the melee combat is not very good. It's chunky, it hits well, and the enemies react well and that, but, like, right, why must there be, like, a combo?
Behave yourself, and we'll get along.
Like, why is there a combo in which you know, like, swish, like, left to right and then right to left, and then do an overhead and stuff? It's like, no, I should have a designated, like, overhead strike button, and then I should have a designated, you know, a designated, like, cleave button that, you know, sweeps your weapon through multiple enemies, and then a designated, like, thrust button that, like, stabs at them. And each attack, depending on the weapon, should do different things. Like, a stabbing attack on a single target should be pretty good if, say, you're using, like, a knife. And a cleaving attack against multiple enemies should also be pretty good against multiple enemies, but bad against a single target if I'm using my knife. And an overhead with a knife should be pretty decent as well on a single target. But the stab should have, like, armor piercing on it, for example. Whereas if I were using a club, you know, again, a sweeping attack wouldn't do much against a single target, but would absolutely butcher a bunch. A stab would barely do anything, because, I mean, it's a club, you know, unless it's got a pointy end to it, it shouldn't really do much. Whereas an overhead should basically cave the heads in, because it's a club. You know, and then just have a block button as well. It seems like it should be doing that, and it's not, you know. Even if you reuse the same button for them all, you know, like, oh, if you double tap it does a stab, if you hold down the button it does a big overhead, and if you just tap it one time it does cleaving attacks. I don't know, there'd be ways of getting around this, but basically I would say it needs to be more chivalry, less what it is now. It feels good, it looks good, it just hasn't got, like, the mechanics there. You know, it's not particularly great to use. You know, everything else about it is great, but they need to, I think, put those different attacks and different attributes on those attacks on different buttons. Or something along those lines. That's it. That's basically what I would say about the combat. The gunplay is perfectly fine. The combat loop is great. It probably wants a few more missions or something. Having played Vermintide 2 a bit, there's things on Vermintide 2 I'd like to see carried across to this. Like the idea of, I think Vermintide 2's got like, you can do like a roguelike run now in the Chaos Wastes. Was the most recent addition to the game. Very fun. And because it gives you buffs along the way, it's not gear reliant, so someone new to the game can go there, have a blast, and come back with some decent gear, even though they don't need really good gear to go in. And that's another thing, the whole gear score thing on this, it's alright, but the higher difficulties just feel like you're replaying the same mission, but hey, enemies are tougher, but you'll do it when you've got higher gear score, so you'll be tougher. So what's changed? You're tougher, they're tougher, you do more damage, they do more damage, then you get better gear to replay the same mission to get better gear. It's kind of like, what? Huh? In terms of the approach to difficulty, I think the best one at of all the games that have done this sort of thing, surprisingly Back 4 Blood does a very good job of it. Like I've actually played through that game, I think, I've played through it with a couple of characters on Veteran and on Nightmare and got through it all. I liked it enough to play through it again on a higher difficulty. Because as you go through, you get more upgrades and cards and things. So, yeah, I'd definitely like to see a bit more of that to it. I think there's definitely a lot that could add to the game. But I think for now, I would say they need to get the performance polished up. They really need to get that crafting system fixed. There's still things missing from the crafting system. And before I kind of wrap it up here, as we're looking at here, there's the page shop. Like, I can level up and level up and level up and do loads of cool stuff. I don't get cool cosmetics for it. You'd think like, oh, as you level up, you'll get some like cool cosmetics or something. Like, could there not be a way to earn the premium currency in game? Just a bit at a time, maybe if I play for a week or two, I should have enough currency to buy a good outfit for my favourite character or something. I get the whole, like, okay, they can't just... And it's the same with any game now. If it's a multiplayer game, there's going to be one of these there. But when you're running an in-game shop, you just have to... It's like, okay, fine, you're running an in-game shop, people don't like it, but it is what it is. The game is less than AAA price, yet it's multiplayer with dedicated servers. There's going to be some give and take somewhere. The outfits at least do look absolutely awesome. Pricing wise, how much is 2.4k? Yeah, it's... And of course you get 2,000... Oh no, you can get a 2,400 bundle. And they are... Yeah, so there's no change left over. That's a nice thing. I think they started by making it so that everything costs like a bit more or a bit... or something, so there was change. I think they started by doing that. And all of these were like limited time offers. At least they've immediately walked that back, because I have to admit, it's much better when there's just a catalogue. It's much, much better, even though it's like, oh, but you can, psychologically manipulate people into spending more money. Yeah, if that's how if that's your excuse for doing it, like, you have to sort of listen to yourself at some point, I think, as a designer or a developer, and can go, right, we're going to psychologically manipulate our customers into spending more money. Are we the good guys? You're not. Like, listen to what you're saying for a moment. You know, it's like EA with flaming FIFA and stuff. Okay, we're going to manipulate children into buying packs of players on FIFA and spending the money from their parents' credit cards. Are we the good guys? No, you're not. You're really not. Stop doing it, please. But they've walked it back. It seems a bit more reasonable now. And I would honestly prefer this to, like, God forbid we go back to the days of map packs. Good heavens, you know, everyone buys a map pack, you know, but then you end up going into lobbies and there's no lobbies open for it like 2 weeks after the map pack's released, because the player base split, and so everyone went back to the main game because they're the only ones they can find lobbies for. God. I remember hearing a while back about people complaining about Battlefield 2042. Ooh, but there's no maps after launch. There's barely any. They had like a dozen maps on Battlefield 4 by now. True. But Battlefield 4 also, like, none of those servers were populated about 2 weeks after the launch of each DLC. So there's that. Oh, but I'll not get into the whole Battlefield debate. Good God, I'll be here for hours. All in all, though, a good package. Again, the strength of this game is, you know, I just go into a level and just look up and it's amazing, you know. If I can get the performance, because I've not been having too much, you'll probably notice it, like, stutters now and then. Usually as I, like, enter an area, it might stutter for a second or two, like, oh, let me look up, and I think it did like a moment ago. Yeah, there it is. It's still kind of loading it a bit, I think. We'll walk around here a bit. I'll do a sprint. And then we go through here and let's look up and... see, it doesn't always stutter. It's like, sometimes it does, but it's a minor problem to say how good the game looks. You know, and the combat, and you shoot a guy with a bolt gun or whatever, and it just bifurcates them with the bullet. It's like, it's very 40k, very... They've really got that nailed down. It's a good foundation, but, you know...
Your weaponry is a gift from the Omnissiah. Treat it with
This
care.
obviously needs finishing, you know, the crafting.
Remain efficient.
It needs more levels. I'd like to see different modes. I remember they were going to put a versus mode on Vermintide. It got cancelled because it were going to take them too long, and they needed to work on Darktide more. I think that what reason they gave or something, but it just never came to fruition, which is a terrible shame. All of these types of games, you know, all your... I think there were Aliens Fire Team, and there's Back 4 Blood, and there's Vermintide, and now there's Darktide, and your Deep Rock Galactics. All of them are basically all competing to try and dethrone Left 4 Dead. And not a single one of them have added a versus mode, which was like one of the major draws to Left 4 Dead. It's like, okay, you've copied the formula apart from that one massive thing, and you're wondering why you haven't dethroned that game yet. Well, there's a clue there. There's definitely a clue as to why. See if you can think of it. Come on. You'll get there. But yeah, it's good foundations. It needs more levels. I would like to see more modes. Versus mode would be absolute bliss. It'd be hilarious in this. I think they could have probably done a better job at the specials. Like, hey, it's a big mutant guy that just charges at you. Okay. And he can throw an ogre around, apparently. Odd. since it's like Nurgle and stuff, I'd have been expecting to see like oh, what do they call them, the demons of Nurgle now, the basic demons. But you know, I would have expected to have seen like some demons of Nurgle used as the specials, you know, and some like maybe a boss would have been like a Chaos Marine or something. And you know, you could have like Nurgling swarms and stuff. I would have expected a bit more leaning into Nurgle for the specials, rather than it just being, oh look, it's an enemy Ogrin, oh look, it's an enemy mutant guy with like, I don't know, steroids injected in him or whatever, and look, it's a guy with a big gun and a guy who runs at you with axes. Whoa! Like, the most interesting ones are the bosses, where it's like an actual beast of Nurgle and stuff. But even then, they go and put a Plague Ogrin in. It's like, Jesus Christ, like, half of the enemy specials are just variants of Ogrin, and then you can play as an Ogrin. Like, half of the enemies in the game are just Ogrins. It's like, okay, come on. Variety, please, more of it. Anyway. But yeah, a bit more variety, a few more game modes, better performance, quality of life, fixes. For the love of God, change up how the missions are done, because I don't want to go into a random ass mission. If I want to pick a specific mission that I've not done up until this point, because I don't know, I'm trying to complete the game, for example, like I have been doing, I don't want to have to wait here for 20 minutes until it pops into the rotation. I mean, look at this. This mission, this relay station thing here, is on 1, 2, 3, 4 different times on different difficulties, right? This mission, the silo cluster here, is on twice. This, oh no, 3 times. It's over here. This mission is on twice, and then there's this one on once. What? There's 13 missions. For the love of God, get rid of this system. Why is it there? You know, I don't have to keep randomly playing the missions again. You know, the same missions again. I don't know. It's like they've looked at Deep Rock Galactic's homework, not understood any of it, but just copied it down anyway. And again, it works for Deep Rock Galactic because it's procedurally generated missions on that. Every mission will be different. But on this, no, it's the same mission, right? In which case, you want to be able to pick which one, you know? If they're looking for like, oh, but we want to add these random effects. Again, may I point you toward Back 4 Blood and its corruption card system. That would be better suited here. That is better suited toward a game with a select number of specific missions. But anyway, change that, add more missions, add more maps, add more, just finish, fix and improve the crafting system. The talent system needs to be completely reworked, I'd say, because this is dull. This is very dull. It's like, woo, I can get, what next? Damage resistance per bleeding enemy and melee range. Whoa, this is boring, right? Kind of, again, comparing it to Back 4 Blood, because, again, they have a very good system for this. Like, I can get a... Ooh, let me think. Just some of the random cards on that. It's like, I can get, for example, bonus healing to enemies that I kill in melee, and then select another card that increases healing efficiency to improve that healing, and become like a self-sustaining tank. You know, a self-sustaining melee tank. It's one of the main builds in the game. It's one of the more popular builds, very effective. You can just stack healing efficiency cards on that on the card system they've got, and just become like a super medic where you just apply bandages to someone and it heals all their health, all your health, a bit of the rest of the team's health, you know, and basically puts them on steroids for a good 30 seconds or something while they're going nuts with bonus damage and stuff. You know, and that's just a couple of additional bonuses, and you can buy more as you go through the levels. Like they let you gather more bonuses and things as you go through the levels. And I know Fat Shark are capable of doing that, because on the Chaos Waste on the Chaos Wastes add-on that they did, the 3LC they did on Vermintide 2, it does something very similar. You know. I would love to see something like that in here. But anyway, I'm starting to reiterate things, so I'm going to leave it there. Thank you very much for watching Darktide. It's been a nice, pleasant experience. I would love to see what this is like in the next 6 months to a year, if they do implement some of this stuff, if the crafting system's fixed and all this stuff. It's like, yeah. I'm glad to see they've walked back the cash shop from being as stingy and crap as it was going to be. You don't want to be getting off on the wrong foot with people with this. You know, they've got a. It's been very popular, this game. It's made a bit of a name for itself in spite of its obvious flaws. I would love to see this do well, because you know it's a big 40k game that's just stunning looking. I'd love to see more big AAA 40k games, you know, and if this does well, it will make that happen. So yeah, something to watch out for, you know. If you're considering it now, you know, if you're into 40k, I'd recommend it, though make sure your rig's pretty good. Definitely look at the system requirements with some of the issues that people have been having. Remember, you can get a refund on Steam if it's been played for less than 2 hours, if you need to like test it. Do remember that. But more importantly, I would say if you're umming and ahhing, it might be worth waiting for until it's on a slight sale. I mean, when I say it needs quality life stuff, I've heard that even like the crossplay doesn't work yet. And I mean, you can buy this on the Microsoft Store or get it on the Game Pass and not be able to play it with people who are on Steam, which is why I've been solo a lot of this time. I've had like a couple of games off camera where I've been able to play it with the one friend that bought it on Steam, but not the other friend that I've got who got it on Game Pass. And of course, he's not going to go and buy the Steam version when he's got a version on Game Pass. Why would you? You know, so we're waiting on the crossplay to get updated. It's lots of little things like that that are holding this back, and they all need sorting out. It's a lot of ground that they're going to have to cover, but again, something to look out for. 6 months to a year from now, it might be where it needs to be. Again though, has been fun, looks gorgeous. It's been nice testing my new graphics card on something that really does actually utilise all it's got, you know, being able to play something gorgeous looking. But thank you very much for watching. I will see you in future episodes of, I mean, there might be more of this coming down the line. Otherwise, there are other videos on other games out now. Feel free to check them out, and I'll see you in future videos.